What if I told you that one of the most powerful kings in Europe trusted jesters more than knights? It sounds like a fairy tale, right? But this is a true story, and it's one of the most bizarre chapters in royal history. Forget the image of stoic, armored soldiers standing guard. Picture this instead: a magnificent throne room, not flanked by towering warriors with gleaming swords, but by a troop of dwarfs and court fools, their colorful outfits a stark contrast to the serious business of the court. Their weapons weren't steel, but sharp wits and disarming jokes. This was the reality for one Austrian king, a man who believed that in the treacherous world of royal politics, laughter was a stronger shield than any armor. So, who was this monarch who turned tradition on its head? We're talking about the Habsburgs, one of Europe's most influential dynasties. While the exact details point to several rulers within this family who maintained a fascination with court dwarfs, the most famous example is tied to the court of Philip IV of Spain, a Habsburg king. But the tradition was widespread across their territories, including in Austria. These rulers didn't just see them as entertainers. They were elevated to positions of incredible trust, becoming confidants and, in a way, the most unconventional bodyguards in history. You might be wondering, why? Why would a king, whose life was under constant threat from rival nobles, assassins, and political schemers, surround himself with individuals society often mocked? The answer is as brilliant as it is strange. It was all about loyalty. Knights and nobles came from powerful families with their own ambitions. They could be bought, they could be swayed, and they could betray their king to further their own family's power. A knight's allegiance was often split between his lord, his family, and his own quest for glory. But court jesters and dwarfs, they were in a completely different position. Often taken in by the court at a young age, their entire world, their status, and their very survival depended on one person: the king. They owed their loyalty to him and him alone. They had no powerful families plotting behind the scenes, no lands to conquer, no rival claims to the throne. Their loyalty was pure and undivided. The king was their protector, and in return, they gave him their unwavering devotion. Their role went far beyond just being a physical presence. Imagine a tense negotiation with a foreign ambassador. While the nobles are posturing and making veiled threats, a jester could deflate the tension with a well-timed joke, or even use humor to expose the absurdity of the ambassador's demands. They were the king's eyes and ears, moving through the court in a way no guard could. People would let their guard down around a fool, revealing secrets and plots they would never dare speak in front of a soldier. The jesters would report everything back to the king, making them an invaluable intelligence network disguised as harmless entertainment. They could speak truth to power without fear of execution, using satire to point out flaws in the king's plans or warn him of untrustworthy advisors. In the royal court, a sharp tongue was often more effective than a sharp sword. This bizarre tradition wasn't just a quirky footnote. It was a calculated political strategy. By surrounding himself with these loyal companions, the king created a buffer zone. Any potential threat would have to go through this inner circle of jesters and dwarfs first, individuals who were underestimated by everyone, but the one man who mattered. While other kings built armies of steel to protect themselves, this king built an army of wits, laughter, and unbreakable loyalty. It's a powerful reminder that in the Game of Thrones, the most unexpected players can sometimes be the most powerful pieces on the board. History is filled with strange and wonderful stories, but the tale of the king who chose clowns over soldiers has to be one of the most fascinating. It challenges everything we think we know about power, loyalty, and what it truly means to be protected. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this story as mind-bending as I did, please hit that like button and subscribe for more weird and wonderful tales from history. We'll see you in the next video.